What? Wait, what? Late? Me late? No, no. I mean, what was it, 60 seconds? I mean, come on, guys. Give me a break here. Sorry, YouTube. I love you. Oh, let's go! Sorry, had to prep the cannon. No. Take a deep breath, calm down. Often imitated, never duplicated. That fool with no hair, that shouts like Ric Flair. Woo! What? Woo! The R8RBEAR! R8RBEAR! So what's up, fam? Welcome to the show. Blah, 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 and all that good stuff. Tradish! R8RBEAR Live! First comment. MVP tonight goes to... John the Lion! Leon! Always catching L's, but never taking losses. It's all about the legacy. My guy, John the Lion. Leon. Yeah, a little bit of an upset tonight. The silver medalist, #1 contender, taking the gold spot from the champion, Mark Vargas! What's up, man? Welcome to the show. Always there for R8RBEAR. Even though John Leon gave you the business tonight. I mean, how many times is he really going to beat you? I mean, let's be honest. Oh, look at me talking trash to John. John, you won't be back. You'll get a bunch of seconds and thirds for the rest of the month. Okay, Mark Vargas is going to destroy you now. Third place. My bronze medal goes to Ramiro! Woo! Patent pending. Cash flow! Castro! I mean, you would think someone other than your own brother wouldn't stab you in the back about your nickname, but no. What's up, Ramiro? Welcome to the show. Always there for R8RBEAR. I don't know why my throat's dry. Honorable mention to my friend Carlos Maigana and my good friend Bob Stannard, who won a bowling trophy. That was very cool. Congratulations, brother. Bob, write in one of your comments what the award was again. I forget. First place, gold medalist, numero uno, El Jefe, the champ. Carlos! Boykins! What's up, champ? Welcome to the show. Always there for R8RBEAR. Our gold medalist, as usual, Carlos Boykins. Second place, my silver medal goes to Handsome Joe Holman! I've been working on that, Joe. No, seriously, in the mirror. Handsome! I wasn't sure if I'd do it suddenly like that or go, Joe, handsome? You know what I mean? And then do your last name. I put hours of work into that. I hope you like it. Third place, my bronze medal goes to Steven and Mrs. Shaw and the wee little Shaws. I love the whole family. They love me. I love them back. Honorable mention to Chris, keeping it strong. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. And Jim Garrison. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Appreciate you tuning in. Mike Henderson, there you are. Lucky Pace. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Always there for R8RBEAR, that silver sounding son of a gun. Rodney Fuller, how you doing, man? Let's go. I believe you. We needed that game yesterday. We'd be 2-2 right now, and in the mix, that ending hurt. Jim, no doubt about it. So let's just go into it right now. We have to remember, and I don't understand why so many people are so mad, but before I go into all that, please consider a subscription to R8RBEAR Family Maze. Now, there's a multitude of ways to go about this. You can support me on Facebook with a subscription there, or I am also on Patreon if you don't want to go through Facebook's business. Catch me on Patreon, pass the word, Patreon, R8RBEAR Family Page, and support the show. Now, more importantly, remember, stars given to the show go directly to charities that we work with all over the world, and we really appreciate that. But make me earn it. If you don't enjoy the show, don't give me that stuff. But if it's YouTube, just hit subscribe and like right now. Just knock it off. It's free. Help a YouTuber out. Rodney Fuller, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Jim. Rodney Fuller said we're going to bounce back. Gino will get it together. First off, Rodney, we're in agreement. I agree. I don't think Gino's as bad as what we've seen. I just don't. I believe that Gino is forcing the ball. I believe that there are times when he's waiting for a receiver to get to a spot instead of throwing the receiver to that spot. I believe that there is some forcing of the ball because teams are playing back into 6 and 7 man, drops where there's just nowhere to throw the ball. But he's being, trying to think of just the right word, stubborn. And even if he sees that defense, he's trying to push the ball through it. And you can't do that. You've got to do the underneath stuff. You've got to run the ball. Now, we started running the ball. We had Ginty get 130 some odd yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns, 2 of them receiving. Great game. Okay, breakout game. Ryan Clark, shut your mouth. The Ryan Clark shut your mouth game. It was beautiful. So there was some good things to take from that game. But I'm just going to keep saying this every single game until it happens. Okay? Kuntz must go. I don't want to hear about stats that said this was his best game since 2022 or whatever. Really? Because he got a couple hurries? I mean, he made 2 tackles, which, by the way, is the most he's gotten in a game all season. There's the exit. Trade, cut, I don't care. But go about that business. Get Max help. I don't care what our stats were. If we were a top 5 defense right now, get Max help. That's what I'd be saying. Get Max help. Jeremy Chin, by the way, looking like a fish out of water. Polamalu's playing better. And Chin's supposed to be better than him. At least that's what we were told. But I'm not seeing it on video. Polamalu's been impressive in a, bad show. John Leon, if you bench Gino, you're bringing Kenny Pickett out? You know what I mean? Now, don't get me wrong. I understand people's frustration with Gino. But I don't understand the idea of going to Pickett. AOC's not ready. You got nobody else. Unless we're going to make a move. But if we make a move, you're going to have to try to bring in someone that really knows Chip Kelly and his offense, or it's pointless. You know what I mean? It's a negative for a negative because whatever long it takes that guy to get on, blah, blah, blah. But I know how these older guys think. They will dumb this down for Geno. They will beg him not to try to make plays unless those plays are there to be made. Otherwise, no. But guys, Brock Bowers, our best weapon, is half of himself. Michael Mayer is being Michael Mayer again. And when your other guy, Jacoby, is the only guy out there right now, they're doubling down on him and saying, beat us with someone else. And Trey Tucker's game where he had 3 touchdowns was, kind of a microcosm of that. Woo, microcosm. Big words on the bear. But I'm not ready to jump off the ledge. I don't understand why everybody's shouting the season's over. I don't understand that. The Broncos aren't any good. The Chargers are so-so. You know what I mean? The Chiefs are the Chiefs, but vulnerable like never before. Guys, we just take a breather. Like I said, and I want to be honest, I'm sticking to this. I said week 8, we will evaluate this. And don't act like that's so far away, because even though it's only week 4 right now, it's a 17-week season. So I'm talking about mid-year. Let's look at what we have. Because I think by then we will have seen everything. The ups, the downs, the Pete Carroll adjustments. What can Spy Tech do in free agency? And win, lose, where are we at? Week 8. By week 8, we'll probably see all of those dominoes fall, and we have to figure out, are we a good team? Are we a good team yet? Because right now, by almost every standard of an old school football person like myself, we're not good right now. We're not good right now. You know what I mean? The offensive line should be better than this. Now, everyone's jumping on Pete Carroll's son. I get that, but at the same time, the guys have to play the game. Do you know what I'm saying? Alex Kappa, who was brought in to be kind of a depth guy, a veteran, someone who's going to come in, and be like, hey, I'm steady, I'm a veteran, I know this. He gave up 11 hurries. 11 against Washington. 11. That's a lot for 3 games. 1, it's almost as though he was losing his focus. Shane Street, that's my guy right there. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Oakland Raider Savage, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Hey, this is Raider Savage. Hey, man, just know, please, I'm a big fan of yours. I've never been making fun of you. I've actually made videos like imitating you. It's out of respect. I think you're the best. I think you're super funny. I like the way you just randomly go places and send video out and say where you're at and stuff. I love it, bro. And anyone that says you're so sucks or they don't like what you're doing, so what? Screw them. Listen to the people who think you're dope. I think you're dope, man. Go back to making video again. You were awesome. Just have a drink. Say, this is Raider Savage. Just go back to being you. I loved it. I don't know. Have you stopped doing it? I thought maybe you stopped doing it. John, you enjoy your 15 minutes. Jeremy McCrary, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. The Bob Pears 9-pin no-tap tournament and won the handicap division. Nicely done, Bob. Darren Patterson, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show. Damn, 41 months more, like 120 months. Right. Was I the only one, though, that noticed how bad the field looks? I don't understand why no one was talking about that. I thought the field literally looked like trash. It looked like it had been out in a rainstorm, chewed up and beaten up. It looked like grass you find on a golf course that's people been swinging away at it all weekend in a tournament. Why does our field look like that? And I saw Raiders falling down. Now, granted, the other team was too, but if both, that's a hazard, man. You could lose somebody to the season on some stuff like that. I don't know what was going on with the field, but they got to get that right. Alpha and Omega said it's time to play Charles Grant. Charles Grant and J.J. Pegas. I mean, I don't understand what they're waiting for anyway. Most of the time, and I know why you're saying it, but most of the time, a veteran fan knows you don't want young people out there, especially as starters, unless they're proven commodities. Okay, Micah Parsons, every season of his career has had 10 sacks or more, right out of college. Okay, so, that's a dude. Whether he's a rookie or not, that's a dude, okay? Well, you can't treat every player like that, but see, to me, I take the younger people. I take Stone Forsythe, the lineman we brought in from the Seahawks, and I throw him out there. Even if it's to let him fail a little bit and then bring the starter back out and say, look, I don't even care. If you're not playing better than him, I'll put him back out there and pray he gets his act together and gives me decent snaps. A bear arrives precisely when he intends to. Not a minute sooner and not a minute later. Tell him, Ramiro. That's my guy right there. Gabriel, that was a crazy game, but I got to be honest with you. The Bears were doing everything they could to give it back to us. We all saw it. That's what was even worse about it. We lost a game they were trying to lose. And I don't mean like sandbagging or tanking for the playoffs or tanking for the draft. I'm not talking about that. They're just that bad. The Bears are just that bad. And they lucked into us to get a win. That's what we saw Sunday. There's no two ways around it. They made mistakes. We made mistakes. They made less. It's that simple. If Geno doesn't throw 3 interceptions, we probably get points out of at least 1 or 2 of those drives. Because we were moving the ball. But we lost 3 downs and 3 opportunities to put points on the board. And then we let them sneak up on us and get that nonsense. And then on top of that, I don't know if the field had something to do with this, but how often have you guys seen a field goal get blocked? Especially blocked by the outside gunner. Not a guy on the inside that just made an athletic play. Not a guy on the inside that's just huge and maybe beat one of our offensive linemen at the snap and gets a hand in there and blocks a kick. No, the gunner, the wing almost never, ever gets to a ball. Because kickers have learned the amount of time it takes, even with the fastest 40-time, skinniest, fastest guy on your team, he's not going to block a kick if a kicker doesn't want him to. It's just 1, 2, and the ball's up. It's not 3. It's 2 seconds. Because remember, they take 2 steps back. The kickers wait. The ball snapped. They take 1 step forward, and that's it. And then whoosh, next foot comes around. And you're in the motion of kicking the ball as you've planted your first step. So it's not even really a second step. It's 1 step. And then your second foot swings around almost like a soccer style and blasts the field goal up. So for the edge guy to get his fingertips on it means you were slow. Was the kicker's approach slower because he was concerned he might slip, was thinking about his footing, which obviously is 90% crucial in a moment like that? You don't get a redo. The game is over. There's no more quarters after this. It's now on that field. He had to step into that. Methinks that the field slowed him down just that little bit that gave that kid a chance to come around the edge and get that ball. Which in itself is also unacceptable. Ridiculous. Because we shot our own foot. It was our field. It's not like we were on the road and the field was crappy. Then I could blame it on the opponent and say, hey, we'll get him next time. But this? At home? And you still didn't finish? Even with that opportunity late in the game, which we all know our guy could have made. Now, could he have missed it? Of course. But could he have made it? Absolutely. Does he have enough leg? Is he normally as accurate? Yes. Now, I'm with everyone else. I'm only going to say this briefly, and then I'm going to move on. I'm with everyone else that's pissed off with seeing Chicago Bears fans to that extent in our stadium. I'm sick of it too. But I'm going to tell everyone the same thing I have to tell myself, and it doesn't make it go down any better. It still tastes like garbage. But we're not going to fill the building with Raider fans until they earn Raider fans back. And by burning them in Los Angeles, burning them in Oakland, California, and then traipsing off to Las Vegas when everyone was begging you not to. So do you have loyal Raider fans that still go to their games? Of course you do. And you always will. But if you want to see the opponents stop, in some instances, outnumbering us, got to start winning. Got to start winning. I am not a season ticket holder, but I know a lot of people who are. And I can tell you from all of them, they're basically saying, Bear, I don't want anyone to know. I don't tell people I'm doing it. I just quietly do it. But I sell my tickets, whether it's to opponents or not. Why would I go to the game when I could make money off the value of the tickets? You're always going to make more. You're charging people for game day tickets. They're going to pay more. So you end up making more than what you paid for them. And they're paying their bills. High on the hog. Selling gold tickets to fans of other teams who want to make it there because they like their team. They're following them on the road because they're excited about them. Just like the Bears fans are excited about their team. Oh, wait. Hold on 1 second. Their team sucks! Not too happy about that. Commander Raider Bell, yeah, I agree. That was not the game to lose. That was not the game to lose. We lost it, but the only reason it wasn't the game to lose is just plain and simply, it was such a winnable game. Both on paper and then during it as we were all watching it. It just looked like an extremely winnable game. Max Crosby was playing out of his mind. I'm tired of saying that. Where is the sense of urgency to help that player? I don't understand it. I don't see anyone else in the NFL doing that. If you look at almost every NFL team, they've got at least 2 guys on their line that are monsters. We have one. And some guy named Tyree Wilson who's way overrated. We get 2 tackles and a sack here and there. And everyone's like, yay, here he comes. I'm out of here. The only thing I'm mad about, the only thing I'm really mad about is going for it on 4th down in our own red zone. I never, when me and Mama Bear were watching the game, I literally looked at her and said, he won't do that. Pete Carroll's too experienced to do that. And even the announcers thought he was just going to do a hard snap count and try to get them to jump off sides, and then we were just going to kick the ball. Instead, they snap it on a run play up the middle when that wasn't working at all at that point. People want to fire Gino. Well, what about Pete? What about Pete? That's Pete's call. It's not like the offensive coordinator said, we're going for it. No, that's on the head coach. And you're on your own side of the field, but not the 35, not the 40. Damn near with our back in our red zone. And what happened, is what you would expect to happen. They didn't make it. You got to give them the ball right there. And of course, they got points out of it. You can't climb that mountain, man, because you made it taller while you were doing it. That's crazy. Okay, I don't pretend to be a shrink, but I was ruminating after some brews, so follow me here. Gino was reunited with Coach Pete, correct. This wasn't Gino's first bad game, no. Do you think he keeps trying to force bad passes, trying to make up for last game in an effort to impress Daddy, or should I stop thinking when I'm drinking? It isn't to impress Daddy, it's to impress Raider Nation. He wants us to embrace him. If you really go back and look at his entire career, he's always been kind of the sort of in, sort of out guy in the locker room, never really taken seriously as the team franchise quarterback. He's never had that. Everywhere he's gone, it's always been with the attitude by the ownership and the team of, we're going to give this guy a shot. We're going to give him a try. You know what I mean? Not excited. Not we're calling this guy our leader. He's going to be our guy in the locker room. No. He's never had that. With us, he has an opportunity at that. Even in Seattle, he didn't have it. He had to win the job from that other bum that went there with him that used to be with the Denver Broncos. And when the Denver Bronco bum got there and couldn't outplay Geno got the job and then did pretty well with it. Don't do that while you're drinking. That was a long way of saying that. Yeah, Peggy here. You know I'm an honest Steeler fan. Hi, Peggy. What's up, Tim? Sure, we beat the Vikings. They started Carson Wentz, and the game was close against him. Should not have been. Secondly, still not a fan of Airhead Rodgers. He has been sacked a lot, and I'm surprised he's not injured yet. Peggy, good to hear you, honey. Welcome to the show. I would say to you that Aaron Rodgers will hold up if they keep doing what I think you've probably noticed. And it's not like I watch a lot of Pittsburgh Steeler games, but I have noticed in his highlights, all the plays are fast. Everything has the ball in his hand and out of his hand in 3 seconds. And if it's not out in 3 seconds, he just gets rid of it or runs out of bounds or takes a knee or whatever the case may be. He's not allowing anything to go beyond 3 to 4 seconds. And as long as he does that, you almost can't get hurt. You know what I mean? Now, of course, do defensive linemen sometimes blow right by and get there in 1 or 2 seconds? Yes, and that's what he's got to watch out for. Because if they get him hit naked, it's over. But as long as you guys keep him on his feet, he's going to give you plays. Why are we not pushing Thornton down the field? We are better than last year, but we look like we are not coached well. Darren, I think that's part of it, because there is some validity to Pete Carroll's son maybe not reaching these guys, that maybe they're tuning him out, because I'm not hearing he's a bad coach. I'm hearing that he's not forceful. You know what I mean? That he says, okay, guys, let's go out there and try to win one for the Gipper. And if that's the way he is, maybe the team has tuned him out, thinking that he needs to scream and yell and say, like, this is an emergency, life and death, because in all honesty, that's how most, I would say better than 90% of coaches, that's how they would handle this. They would be going crazy in the press and in practice and everything else, and I'm not seeing that from Pete's son. Now, that might be because Pete's son adopted his dad's mannerisms, but he doesn't realize that Pete hasn't always been this way. Pete used to be a fiery, screaming at guys, cussing coach too. He's just developed into this. You know what I mean? Geno is like older Brett Favre, gunslinger to prove you still got it. Raider Savage, I can't say you're wrong. I would just say to you that I respect the fact that I feel like Geno is trying to do something. How many times as fans have we felt helpless because we see our team and we just think, guys, come on, make a play, someone do something. Geno's trying to be that guy. Week 1, he was, but we've got to get consistency on the line. We've got to get consistency on the line. And we lost our middle of the field attack, which all these defenses are just dropping back, taking away Thornton and Tucker and anything long. Any long routes or intricate routes, they're just taken away. With cover 2 shell and deeper, you got to have those underneath guys. And right now, we don't have either. Even with Brock Bowers out on the field, he's just not himself. Geno has 7 interceptions in 4 games, though I believe 4 of those were at home. Tana, I'm not going to say he's not going to throw more. I think he will. But I think you got to ride this out. I want to ride this out. I don't want to help this team. I think the personnel is there. Well, I mean, look, you saw it. Dylan Parham started playing bad. Why is Dylan Parham all of a sudden playing bad? You know what I mean? Right when we get JPJ back in order, and he had a great game. I mean, he was everywhere. You know, Jackson Powers Johnson was everywhere. He was playing like he was trying to win a job, which is insane considering his credentials coming out of school, but he was out there doing it, showing as much or more heart as almost anyone out there that day. Our season's not over, Mark Vargas, not by any stretch. Now, when we get to week 8, we're going to talk about that, but not till week 8. And when I say that, I only mean because our record could look totally different by week 8. So let us get to week 8. Let us get to the bye. We will sit down. I swear on my chinny chin chin, I will do an intricate breakdown of the player personnel, how they played thus far this season. Where is Jack Besh? I mean, has he forgotten how to run a route? He doesn't know how to catch a football? I mean, I realize he may be going through some learning curve, but why isn't he doing it on the field? Get him out there. We already know we're limited. The moment Brock Bowers went down, I remember one of the announcers even suggested, why don't you just put Jack Besh at tight end? It's not like he's not big enough. He's a strong, physical guy. That's his play style anyway. Why aren't we letting him figure it out on the field? Let him figure it out on the field. Give Geno another weapon. Michael Mayer's out. Where is Jack Besh? When are we going to get rid of Malcolm Kuntz? I've had enough. And I've had enough of seeing Max Crosby giving us great games and getting no help. Thank you, Troy Gill. I'm screaming that for the rest of this show. Steven Shaw! Appreciate the love on the stars, brother. That's a man who knows good sports entertainment when he hears it. The first 4 games are over, so basically the preseason is finally over. You're right. 2 winning seasons in the last 22 years. You know, honestly, Rob Mix, look at the Jets' record. They have 1 Super Bowl back when dinosaurs walked the earth. Have the Atlanta Falcons ever won one? The Chargers? We have 3. I respect that, especially how we won them and who we won them with. Thank you, brother. I haven't been out in uniform in a couple seasons dealing with kickback issues, but I've been getting better. I appreciate the love. Of course, brother. Welcome back, and I appreciate you. It rained here in Vegas a few days ago. The field must have gotten soaked from that. Tana, okay, now I appreciate that because I didn't know that. And honestly, I got to say, for this stadium, what it cost, how beautiful it is, the technology improvements, you know, the party atmosphere, but you can't get a decent field out there? You know, and why was it out so long then? Where's the grounds guy? I don't care if he has to be on call 24 hours a day. He can't hit a button and bring that field in. We all know it rolls on wheels, for crying out loud. It isn't like he drives it in or pulls it in. It's robotic. It's on train tracks with wheels. Just bring it back in. What are you doing? Give it a little sunlight and bring that thing in. Stop ruining it. Thank you, brother. Oh, okay, I see you. Yep. Did have it during the hail and rainstorm bear. Okay. Let's see. Vernon Moshman got one for me. Play calling was questionable, and when had a chance to put them away, we went conservative just to allow the Bears take the ball down to drive it right down and score a touchdown. Even the final drive when we could have gotten the ball closer, and we ended up having to try a 50-plus yard field goal. Vernon Moshman, it was clumsy. It really was. I'm surprised that Pete Carroll doesn't have it squared away yet. I really don't, but he doesn't. You could see some panic there. There's an old term, don't let go of the rope. You could see some letting go of the rope there. Now, when I say that, I want to be very specific. I don't mean quitting. I mean confusion. I mean frustration. And going, man, come on, what are we supposed to do then? You know what I mean? And then this guy messes up, and then that guy messes up. The long snapper showed his hand. Alpha, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. I didn't look at the video of it again because I was so disgusted by it. But yeah, that's a good point. That could absolutely have happened. Apparently, that was Fatu that let the dude go to block the final attempt. Fatu was covering Michael Mayer's spot on the field goal. You just... I mean, what we're mad about is the fact that the Bears were able to go down and score and take the lead. We should have just won the game outright. But the fact that that happened and you still could have won the game on just better execution. Does anyone really think he was going to miss that field goal? I don't. No blinking. I don't think there's any scenario he misses that field goal. They may have blocked it, but he wasn't going to miss that field goal. And it was going to reignite our locker room and our season. We would have forgot about Pete Carroll going for it on 4th down in his own side of the field. Maybe. I doubt I would have forgot about it. But, Ashton Genty had a nice game, a nice breakout game. It's not like the offensive line was way better. And yet he still just performed better. Heard Ryan Clark and said, give me the ball. And didn't just run by guys, ran through guys, and ran away from guys. Love that kid. He said, You think I'm a bum? You think I'm a bum? Give me the ball. 130 yards, 3 touchdowns. Hat trick in a loss. With how well he played and how well Max played, we take an L on special teams. Dylan Laube. Huh? How about that return? Why isn't Dylan Laube getting more throws? If both our tight ends are down, put him in there in the Trey Tucker number 3 position role and let him work. When the guy catches balls and moves around, good things happen. We see it over and over again. Give Dylan Laube the ball. In the 3 games that we lost, it was for a combined 29 points. Geno's interceptions directly allowed 20 points for opposing teams. It's a problem. Sherry Abstender, smart as ever, my Raiderette fan. And I would have to say this, Tila. Welcome to the show. And I would say also, not only are you spot on, but I think that that's a good sign. In other words, if we can flip that stat, get his interceptions down, and not even necessarily get his touchdowns up, just consistency with 300 yards, and we're a winning team. Throw underneath, throw to your running backs, hit whoever we put at the tight end position running that route, hit Thornton long or Trey Tucker long every once in a while if it's there, and run the ball. And by the way, Geno himself has been running the ball well. I hated the interceptions, but it looked like it was as much the defense as Geno. In other words, he's getting baited into throws because he's so eager to help the team, where he doesn't understand. There's just times where defenses say, no, I'm only going to give you the underneath stuff, and that's it. And you got to show me you can hit the underneath stuff and hurt us with the underneath stuff in the running game, and then you'll pull us out of that defense. That's the only way you can do it. And a lot of these quarterbacks, they struggle with that because they want to just make it happen. I hate to say it, but Jackson Dart looked better than Geno did. When Dart went out there for the Giants, he looked calm. He didn't throw into deep coverages. And, and he ran the ball and he hit guys underneath and he ran and they made it work. And it's mainly because he's still a kid, so he'll act like a robot and just take information and spit it out. instead of acting like Brett Favre and going, give me a play. All right, I might run that. And, I think Geno's kind of freewheeling it a little bit, trying to make it happen for us instead of doing it within the framework of the team. Solomona Milo, what's up from New Zealand? Appreciate you. Let's see. Can we trade for Sanders or get better at QB? We could trade for Sanders. That would be very interesting. And at quarterback, it's tough. You have to understand, even if it's during the season and you're a bad team, you don't necessarily want to help a rival unless they're out of your division and the person they want, you're probably going to let go of anyway. Otherwise, teams aren't going to want to help us with that. They don't want to see us get better at quarterback or find a quarterback that works for us. They'd rather we be down in the basement with everybody else. Armando Medrano, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Looking good. All freshly shaved. My guy, Winchy. What's up, Edward? For the last couple years, I've come to realize that the Raiders won't be a contender until we have new ownership. The existing ownership has to be worse than lowly Cincinnati. Geno is a one hit away from a season-ending injury. And he does get hurt, Edward. I mean, and so this is a bad combo. Welcome to the show. I don't know. I don't know. I honestly thought, Edward, that Mark Davis, once his mom passed away, I thought that was it. I really did. I gave it like 6 to 8 months. And we haven't really gotten that far, I don't think, from when she passed away. So it's still a possibility. But I kind of predicted 6 to 8 months, maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years, because you would maybe go through 2 more seasons, that kind of thing. But in truth, somewhere around 8 months total, maybe a little more, I think that he would sell. I think that he would want to be out from under all this. Wouldn't you? I mean, you and I have enough gray hair, Edward, to and beautiful women in our lives to relate to the idea of just taking hundreds of millions of dollars and saying, here, you can have the business. I'm out of here. I'm going to live somewhere tropical with my money, with lots of guards, dogs, and fences to make sure nobody gets to me and my stuff. And then I'm just going to have a wonderful life. Be able to go to the beach when I like, walk my dog, and whatever the case may be, go snorkeling. Johnson was in the locker room after the saying their team is great, turn the corner. They said we're playoff caliber like they won the effing Super Bowl. I don't know. I don't know what to say. As far as that's concerned, I mean, like the Dallas Cowboys went toe-to-toe with them, and they whooped the Dallas Cowboys up statistically. It was one of Caleb Williams' best games of his career. He came from that to us, and then I didn't feel like he played that well. We kept running him off his spot. We were getting pressure on him all day. He didn't have a good game, and they won anyway. They couldn't run the ball very well, and they won anyway. And it was our turnovers. I mean, there's just no doubt about that. I hate to rub that into Geno, but Geno's why we lost that game. I don't think it's even if you want to count the blocked field goal, we wouldn't have been in that position if Geno plays better football. Sean Scott, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. We have money on the cap that we didn't spend. Where Beck, I know he is a rookie. I don't know. Just frustrated. Darren, your family picture, that's beautiful. I don't know either. I don't understand why they're not just putting him out there. I mean, even if he's struggling, so what? What is he struggling with? It's football. Give him a route and tell him to run it. Even if you're just putting him in for a play or two, pull him out, then really talk to him about a play. This is what we expect you to do. If they pick it up if we expect you to run it in, run it out. If it's covered. If it's not covered, then run the in. Go. How hard is that to do? Send him in with an a la carte menu, for Christ's sakes. Put the quarterback wristband on it with all the plays. See, look, I sound like the fan base now. It's only 4 weeks. It's just 4 weeks. Bottom line, I'm afraid there's a huge disconnect between Carroll and the players. He can't relate to today's players. Edward, every indication is that that's not correct. That the players like him, the press like him, the ownership, I mean, it's been a PR success. Now, they could be lying, but at the same time, everything I've seen, they didn't try to hide that with Josh McDaniels. They didn't try to hide any of that with AP. Why would they suddenly do it now for Pete Carroll? I think they like Pete Carroll. And I think Pete Carroll's a good coach, but I can't testify for him on that game, though. The man went for it on 4th and whatever in his own side of the field. In what was already what was still a close game. Punt the ball. Play defense. Get the ball back on their side of the field, then go for it. Instead, he got away from basic generalship. You got to play field position. Good teams play field position. We didn't do that. I don't know what's going on with the coach. I think he might have been the wrong person for the job. He's one of the better rebuild coaches that's been out there. I don't know if I agree it's him just yet. I think that part of what's going on with his son, I think that might be a problem. I think it's too soon to say we're positive. I want to give it a couple more weeks. I'm going all the way to week 8. When we get to week 8, we reevaluate. But obviously, if we, go 1-4 the rest of the way, then we know we're just not good. But I want to see what happens when we get to week 8. I want to see what the team does to make adjustments to get better. And then we'll really know, hey, what is this season going to look like? Because in my opinion, by week 8, you are what you are. You can make adjustments going up to week 8. You can make some adjustments in the process coming up. But when you get to week 8, you're what you are. You're going to ride or die with what you are. You may get rid of a guy and bring in a UDFA or bring up someone from the practice squad or whatever, but that's light work. That's not going to change the fortunes of a team, not usually. Unless it's Dylan Laube. I'm a Dylan Laube fan. Get over it. No, Edward, I got you. I appreciate you dropping in and saying what's up. Give the missus some love for me. Still would have gone with Aaron Rodgers, the football gunslinger, Rod Stiffington. Rod, I just feel like everything was saying he's done, but I feel the same way about Russell Wilson. I feel like that guy's been washed for the last 3 years, and yet I'd take him right now. And don't be surprised if it happens. Remember, he's virtually out of the league again. The Giants are done with him, and now he could fall back to his old coach and the team that rebuilds players that are at the end, the Raiders. Sure, that may not have been our culture for a while now, but it always has been in the past. Damn, I grabbed a throw pillow from my couch and yelled my head off in frustration. That game was one we absolutely should have won. Hey, but I'm excited to see Ginty in his old stance. Looks like it did make a difference. Oh, it made a difference. I don't understand why that's what makes him feel more comfortable, but I don't care if he stands like a goddamn duck on one leg. Excuse my French. If it keeps giving him 130 yards and 3 touchdowns, he can stand like that on every play. Every play. Hate to say it, but we might have gotten Geno from the Jets and Pete overthinking it in Seattle when you had beast mode at the number 1 during the biggest game of the year. Yeah. Jim, 100% Bear. That stupid 4th down at our own 20 was ridiculous. And a weak-ass play call for sure. I couldn't believe it. The play was horrible. It was brain dead. I would have expected that from a fan coach. Not a legitimate NFL coach who's a proven NFL Super Bowl winner. And you made that call? I'm sorry, I said it. That to me, that's a fireable offense. If the season keeps going the way it does, I could see firing the way it is. I could see firing Pete Carroll. I would probably. I know he's only got a 2-year deal, But fourth down on your own 20 in a game you're supposed to win against a bad team, and you don't get it? That's not guts. That's not, seat of your pants, riverboat gambler, as, these people like to say. I won't say what people, but... I mean, why are people still saying riverboat gambler? Are there even any riverboat gambling riverboats anymore? There are. I'm just kidding. They're all old suck. It's silly. Go to a casino. What are you doing? Elizabeth Castruera, what's up? Welcome to the show. Beautiful profile picture. Elizabeth Castruita. I'm sorry I'm butchering your last name, but it's beautiful. I'm trying to say it right. Castrita. I'm sorry. Welcome to the show, Elizabeth. Please subscribe and like and give me another chance on another show, and I promise I'll be better. Welcome to you. We either try to steal a rookie quarterback away from someone in a trade or one through the draft like Drew or Alar. We have to solidify the quarterback and the O-line positions. I think the O-line will still slowly start to work itself out. I do think that. I don't understand why the same guys who played well for us last year are suddenly starting to struggle this year. Dylan Parham, I didn't understand. DJ Glaze, I mean, they were playing really well last year, and then they come into this year, and they look shook too. But I think that will figure itself out. I really do. The quarterback, I agree with you. I just like the idea of moving for Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward. I'm down with that. I'm down with that. And I don't know why the Titans wouldn't be. Oh, he's supposed to be our quarterback of the future. You have no future. The Titans, it's going to take longer than that kid's going to be on that team. In 4 years, there ain't no way Cam Ward's still going to be a Titan. And all you're going to do is get him beaten up until the time when you're going to have to be forced to admit to make the deal. I would do it right now. You're going to fire the coach. The team is terrible. I would make the move right now. Sound crazy? Remember, I'd be bringing my cap space down to zip. It would be a huge cap space in my favor. I would be able to bring in someone for the future. I'd piss off the fans, sure. But I would be showing them, look, I'm willing to pull the trigger. I'm going to get rid of the coach. I'm going to get rid of this quarterback. I don't like this GM. We are starting from scratch. I think Titan fans might get excited by that. I know we did when we brought in Pete Carroll and got rid of AP and Josh McDaniels. Hope you and the family are doing good. How do you think we'll be against the Colts next Sunday? Anthony Contreras, I'm going to be completely blunt. I'm concerned. I've always liked the quarterback of the Colts, even when he was with the Giants. I always said it's the Giants' fault that he's struggling, and I always believed that. Peyton Manning and his brother endorsed that kid way back in school. They talked about the fact that they worked with him at his school and were teaching him things to prepare him for the NFL. And look what he's doing now for a real team in the Colts. And if I was him, I would never leave. I would never leave. I would stay with Frank Reich, and I would make that team hey, man, that guy's got legs. He can run. He's smart. He's big enough. You're not going to get hurt all the time. Can see over the offensive line. Smart. Always like that kid. Dylan Gabriel knows Chip Kelly's offense. Why not trade for him? Too small. He's just too small. I don't think that guy's really long for the NFL. He reminds me of Tommy Mellett. He's probably only trying for quarterbacks still because that's all he could play. He can't become a wide receiver or running back or anything like that. Alpha and Omega, I agree. We just can't have it. All that effort from Mad Max and we couldn't get a W. It's sad. Yeah. I was blown away. Steven Shaw and Mrs. Shaw. Hi, love. Hi, babies. All right, that's it. That's my show and stuff. I know you don't want me to go, but I'm going anyway. Okay, I have to. All right, that's my show. Much love. Scotty Lutz, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. It's over. You're late, Scotty Lutz. Scotty Lutz, did you see what the Warriors did with Al Horford? Wow. Shooting center that's 48 years old. Sorry, he's not 48, he's 54, but that's not the point. All right, that's my show. Much love. Shout out to our armed forces. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, National Guard, Space Force. For all you do, the energy and love of this show is dedicated to your sacrifice, active and veteran. Much love. I'll see you tomorrow night. Raider Bear family page. Please like and subscribe and visit Raider Bear Family Store. It's awesome. You know it's true because it came out of my face.